Caitlin Clark and the Fever are in the WNBA playoffs. Can they make a run to the finals? It's safe to say Indiana Fever head coach Christy Sides doesn't want to talk about what's floating to the front of fans' minds of late. We can talk about championships in 3 or 4 years. Sides told Yahoo Sports last summer, while still months away from winning the draft lottery and half a year before drafting generational talent Caitlin Clark. Elia Boston, their 2023 no. 1 pick, had not even lifted her Rookie of the Year trophy yet. At the time, the Fever were deep into year 2 of general manager Lynn Dunn's 3-year plan to rebuild the league's decades-long basement dweller. A plan that has finally come to fruition this season. The Fever, 17-16, clinched their first playoff berth since 2016 on Tuesday night, snapping the tie for the longest playoff drought in league history. They moved up into the no 6 seed over the weekend and are playing for positioning between the Seattle Storm, 20-13, and the Phoenix Mercury, 16-17, down the season's final 2 weeks. As the league's hottest offense out of the All-Star/Olympic break, and arguably its most prominent franchise this season, with millions tuning in regularly to watch Clark, many fans are talking about championships now. But how realistic is that? Let's take a look. Fever peaking at the right time. Indiana is peaking at the right time with a 6-1 record out of the break and the league's best offensive rating, 111.0, and scoring average, 91.4. Kelsey Mitchell and Clark have been the most formidable backcourt duo since the league resumed last month, ranking second, 25 puck, and third, 24.5 puck, in scoring, respectively. Lexi Hull is shooting 62.1% from three-point range in critical starting minutes after shooting 28.1% before the break. The team leads the league in three-point percentage, 38.9, and threes made, 11.1. The Liberty are second with 9.9 over the last month. It is the clearest reason the Fever could contend with the best in the playoffs. Everyone is meshing better together and presenting opponents with a much different team than they faced in the first half. And the Fever are collecting wins over some of the league's best: New York, Minnesota, Connecticut, Seattle, and Phoenix. The only team they haven't defeated so far this year is reigning 2-time champion Las Vegas, but they have 2 more shots at it. Historically, in the WNBA, champions have been a no. 1 or no. 2 seed. That is in part because of playoff formats that previously heavily favored the league's best with rest, and now lean toward them with home court advantages, which would also favor the Fever, who would likely travel for the first 2 games of a 3-game first-round series, but whose road games have been heavily attended by Fever and Clark fans. Chicago broke the top seeds win-it-all mold in 2021 when, as a 500 team in the regular season, it rode a no 6 seed and defeated the no 5 Phoenix Mercury for the franchise's first and only title. It was an Olympic year and Candace Parker's first in Chicago. There were no Sky players on the Team USA 5x5 roster, allowing them to practice together in the US, same as the 2024 Fever. Pace can trump physicality and size. The Fever are one of the league's best in pace, ranking 4th overall, and have been playing faster since the break than any team currently in playoff position. It's what would make 4-time champion Sue Bird leery of facing Indiana if she was still playing. What I've learned in my WNBA experience is pace of play trumps physicality. Bird said on her A Touch More podcast. It trumps size. It can trump experience, because a lot of times when you're experienced, it's really code word for you're veteran, which is code word for you're old. Bird said the Storm's whole mantra was pace, 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 when the franchise won titles in 2018 and 2020. What I see in Caitlin Clark and what I see in Kelsey Mitchell is they're just ramming it down people's throats, Bird said. And it's really hard. It can have your head spinning. And that play, while prolific, is not an anomaly. Clark's ability to fire full-court passes in transition and slip the ball past multiple defenders in the paint led Iowa to back-to-back national title games after the program had never reached one before her era. The Hokies ranked top 15 in pace both seasons and 26 or better in all 4 seasons of Clark's collegiate career.